welcome to today's episode of Candid Kaya. So today I have a topic that's going to resonate with all my women out there. So we have relationship expert Stephan of Stephan Speaks, and he's going to be answering a lot of questions for me today. I'm going to be asking stuff us ladies want to know. All right, stay tuned. So now I want to get into more relationship questions. First, I just want to start with this question. I just got to know. What's the difference between a grown boy and a grown man? I know some.
A grown boy is someone who looks like he's supposed to be a man. Right. You know, he has all the features of a man. However, his character is not of a man. His work ethic is not of a man. His maturity and mentality is not of a grown man. It hasn't evolved yet. He hasn't taken that next step in life, and he's still operating as if he was in his early 20s or teens or something. He just hasn't learned. And that's not to take any shots at early teens or 20 guys, because some of them can be very mature. Right. We're just saying the common way of doing things, the common mindset that you have at that time, that grown boy is still operating in it. And a grown man is opposite. He has matured. He has evolved. He knows what he needs to do. He's taking care of his business. He can be relied upon. See, a grown man, you know you can count on him to do what he's supposed to do, right, and to be a man of his word. A grown boy is sitting there and has to be carried through life. And so no woman should be dealing with a grown boy at all. And you cannot turn a grown boy into a grown man either. Right. He has to figure that out on his own.
Okay. All right. So that leads into my next question, actually. So what do men look for when they think about relationships? And I don't mean what can women do to make someone commit, because I shouldn't have to do anything.
Well, listen, we all have to do something.
I mean, I shouldn't have to force you to want to commit.
No, of course. What we have to understand is, no matter how valuable we are, no matter how amazing we are, we're not going to be of value to every person. Right. And we're not going to be seen for our worth for every person. So understand that in that sense of not having to prove anything, you're right. Because some people, you'll never be the right person you'll never be good enough for the wrong person.
Exactly.
They're the wrong person, they just are. So to me, it's about finding that deeper connection. But to get back to the original question of what the man is looking for, I think men are looking for support. I think men are looking for, believe it or not, someone they can share themselves with, as far as like, I can actually talk to you. A lot of men don't feel like they can talk to their woman, and it's kind of a one-sided thing. So I think being able to talk to is important. I'm giving some of the non-typical answers right now. I'm going to give some typical ones real soon. And I just think that positive, loving energy, right, that's important. Those three things are very overlooked, but very important. But to get some more typical stuff, listen, we can't run from the fact that men are visual, and men are looking for someone they are attracted to. And not just attracted to, but feel that she is going to be willing to at least not deviate too far from that attraction. Because there's a lot of women who, or at least they have seen a lot of women let themselves go. Mm-hmm. All right? And we can come up with, life, kids, regardless. When you see that as a man, that is discouraging when it comes to marrying that person. So, and everybody wants to maintain the person they fell in love with. Right. That's what you want out of your partner. Granted, there may be some unrealistic expectations for some people. However, we have to at least try to work towards maintaining who that person is drawn to. So I think men are looking for that. Some men are looking for food. Good food.
A little hungry.
Yeah, some good cooking. Okay, of course, the physical intimacy is always going to play a huge role, and I think that definitely is something men pay very close attention to. Mm-hmm. And yeah, those are the things I think they're considering when getting into a relationship or being prepared to marry somebody.
Okay. All right. Good to know. These are just great things to know, aren't they, ladies? Okay, so is it possible to turn a situationship into a relationship?
Possible. Yes. Likely, no. Okay, so most times how you start will be how you finish.
Right.
And if it started as a situationship, the chances that he's now going to wake up one day and say, I want to lock it down and make you serious, not likely. And in some situations when he does it, it's not because he's fallen in love with the woman, it's because it's almost by default.
Right.
And as a woman, you may think, well, okay, well, I'm cool with that as long as I get what I want at the end. No, you're not going to be cool with that. You're not going to be happy if he chooses you because you were the last woman standing.
Right.
He should choose you because you were the woman he just simply wanted to be with. You know, and if it takes a long time for even him to get that through a situationship, again, it's just not likely. It's just not likely. And in most cases, a man has already put you in a certain box. He's already viewed you as just a woman I want to sleep with, or just a woman I'll kick it with, or just a woman I'll be a girlfriend with, boyfriend, girlfriend with, but I'm not marrying her. And then there is wifey, the woman I would marry. So once you're in that box, you're probably not getting out.
All right, so don't keep knocking at the box, ladies.
Nah,
the door ain't open.
Just get out and run. Just
you better off starting a new situation. All right. Okay, so I have a disease that I think men have. It's called MBS. Have you heard of it?
No.
It means multiple base syndrome. So, why do so many men suffer from that, dude?
And you said you suffer from it too?
No.
Oh, I thought you said...
No, I do not suffer from it.
I thought I
do.
That you suffer. Okay. So, why do men suffer from multiple base syndrome? Various reasons. Some are just greedy, and taking advantage of the options they have. And they're not considering the impact it has on the individual women. Some women nowadays are playing along with multiple base syndrome and acting like it's all good. And so, if you tell that person he can have 3 pieces of cake instead of 1, and he loves cake, he's taking all 3 pieces. I mean, so what you gonna expect from him?
Right.
So, I mean, and I think there is a lot of men who they get a high from that stuff. It's an ego booster.
Exactly.
That's the thing. A lot of things that men do is about, whether they realize it or not, it's about their ego. It's about feeling better about yourself, feeling like you can get this woman. That's why, the whole even conquest of sleeping with different women, it's about feeding that, oh, you see, I was able to do that, feeling more manly or feeling more confident and feel like, okay, I can do something that the next guy couldn't do.
Right.
So it's various reasons why, guys get into MBS.
You like that one, don't you?
That's a good one.
Thank you. All right, let's see. So next question is just around, you saw Hurt Bay, right?
I didn't see the whole clip. I heard of the phenomenon. I may have saw like 2 seconds. I didn't really pay too close attention to it.
But you do know what it was about, of course.
Yeah, the guy cheated on her, right?
Exactly. So, what are your thoughts on women who take men back after they cheat?
My thoughts are every situation isn't the same.
Okay.
And we have to evaluate them individually to understand what's going on. Sometimes cheating is a result or is evidence of a relationship that should never have been in the first place.
Right.
All right. It was a bad relationship. This is just an extension of that. And so taking them back would be silly. There have been situations, whether people want to realize it or accept it or not, where it can be a mistake. It can be a momentary lapse in judgment. Things can be corrected, and things can get back on the right track. I'm not saying that's the majority of situations. I'm just saying it is possible for that to be the case. I just think that the biggest mistake women make when it comes to taking back a guy who cheated is not properly evaluating and assessing the situation.
Right. Just
because he said, I'm sorry and I won't do it again, that's not good enough. We got to figure out, why did this happen? Whether it's reasons you want to agree with or not, what was the motivation behind this? What led to this? Even if it was a lapse in judgment, what caused this lapse in judgment? Was it over drinking? Was it hanging out with your single friends?
Right.
What was it? Because whatever it is, if we're going to get back together, we have to correct those core issues. If you're going to take them back and you don't correct what led to this cheating,
it's gonna happen again.
Exactly, it's a wrap. So it's pointless to take them back at that point. So you have to take a deeper look into the situation and you have to make adjustments. But too many people just, oh, okay, sorry, we're going to work it out, boom, boom, but never. And then not only have you not addressed what led to the cheating, you haven't fully addressed your hurt and pain from it.
Right.
And so now you're back with them, but now you don't trust them anymore. You're still feeling some kind of way. Now you're pouring negativity into the situation. So even if he is trying And even if he has got his act together, your lack of healing is now causing a problem.
Right.
And no matter what, it ends in a breakup anyway.
Right.
So you have to properly address the issues and correct them.
Okay. In your opinion, do you feel that some relationships have now become more of a matter of convenience?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it's been like that for a long time.
Right.
I think people just, they hide behind the, oh, we're in love, it's love, and blah, 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 blah. Man, please. All right? It's like when you, again, me being a coach, I get to see deeper into people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
I get to talk to them when they're not trying to put on a front for everybody else, for their family and for their friends. And I get to the real truth. And what I find is, yes, it was always convenience. It was always, not always, but in a lot of these situations, it was convenience. It was two people who weren't truly in love. It was somebody who may have wanted to get their family off their back, or who may have just felt like it was just the right thing to do right now. All these different reasons that had nothing to do with this is the person that you're truly in love with and should be with.
Right.
So, or just simply, yeah, they provide something that you want right now, whether it be to escape the fear of being lonely, whether it be financial stability, whatever, you know. And so people hold on to people for the wrong reasons, and we wonder why we have a high divorce rate. Not because marriage is a problem,
Mm-hmm.
it's not because love is a problem. It's because people get into the wrong relationships with the wrong people.
Right. Okay. All right. So part of your mission is to help people build healthy and fulfilling relationships.
Absolutely.
So how do you define that?
So I guess the way that I would define it is two people who are creating positive energy throughout their relationship. That's what it boils down to. So we can break it down to communication, quality time, how they tend to their children. Whatever you want to look at, it boils down to positive energy. When you have people who are arguing and fighting, when you have disrespect, when you have infidelity, when you have all these negative things that cause problems,
Mm-hmm.
that's not a healthy relationship. And you have some people out there who want to say, oh, arguing is healthy. No, it's not. Disagreement is healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're calling each other names, if we're screaming at each other, if we're behaving in that very attacking, negative, or insulting way, there's nothing healthy about that.
Exactly.
I don't care how many times you made up and was okay later. No, it doesn't matter. If you keep doing it, it's unhealthy. So getting away from the negative energy, getting away from the negative input and contribution that either side is making is how I define a happy and healthy relationship.
Okay. Now, this is the last question for the relationship portion, but I just want to know, what are your thoughts on people plastering their relationships on social media?
They need to stop it.
Right, trying to act like everything Gucci.
Just you know what? Okay. On one end, I like seeing positive examples, and I do think that there's not enough positive examples being put out there. Unfortunately, people are so jaded that even when it's a positive example, they're skeptical. And they swear it's just BS. They're just acting. They're miserable at home. Like they just jump to negative conclusions. So my thing is this: if it's being done in a genuine manner to put forth a positive image, to encourage people, to inspire people, I can never take any issue with that.
Right.
If you're doing it to put on a show, stop.
Right.
If you're doing it to gain attention, stop. That stuff is unnecessary. One, you're setting yourself up for some problems, whether you want to acknowledge them or not. And if your relationship is not strong enough, you will not be able to withstand what's going to come against you for being so public with your relationship. So you want to make sure you two are truly in right standing with each other if you're going to make it so visible to the rest of the world. And it's just, again, it's just unnecessary when it's not coming from a genuine place. So that's the position I would take on it. If it's genuine, I'm cool with it. It's positive. It is. But the bad stuff, the airing out the dirty laundry, nah, kill that. That needs to go. We have enough negative stuff being posted on the internet. We don't need your relationship business. And it's not going to help you in any kind of way.
Right.
Again, it's kind of like a cry for help or cry for attention at that time, but it's just not healthy.
Right. Okay. So, Stephan, now I want to get just a little bit of your advice. What are 3 things a woman should consider before she says, I do?
3 things she should consider before saying, I do. Mm-hmm. Number 1, are you truly in love with this man? All right. And is is this someone you have a real connection with, or someone you simply want to achieve marriage with? There's a difference. And if it's just achieving the goal of marriage and he's good enough to be with, don't get married.
Right.
You only set yourself up for more years of being miserable and more problems later. Second thing I would say is, have you truly been yourself? Because a lot of women have gotten married, putting on a facade, trying to act a certain kind of way to get this man to get to the altar. And then now when you're married to them, you're not happy.
Right.
Because you lost yourself in the process. And you wake up, you're like, who the hell who am I? You know, and you can't face yourself. And not to mention, when your true self starts to come out, because you can't hide it forever, it's gonna come out. Now you're gonna realize you really don't like this guy.
True.
Because he doesn't align with your true self. It just was what you wanted to try to make work and fit into your life, but it doesn't belong. So make sure you have truly been your true self before saying I do. And the last thing is, have you addressed all the lingering issues? If there's I don't care what it is, if there's anything, any doubts, any concerns, any pain, any hurt, not just from the relationship with him, from any part of your life, address it.
Right.
Because those things will come back to haunt you and create a big problem in your marriage. Whether you marry the right person or not, you're going to make it difficult if you don't address all issues within yourself and especially if it's within the relationship. I've seen people who have gotten married with a list of issues still on the table, thinking, oh, we'll just figure it out later. No, you won't. It'll only get worse.
All right, ladies, so we all heard it from Stephan Speaks. Now, Stephan, tell us how we can keep up with you and about your book.
So you can find me on Instagram at Stephan Speaks, Stephan Speaks. Twitter, Stephan Speaks, or just go to my website, www.stephanspeaks.com. And you can check out my book, God Where's My Boaz, at www.godwhere'smyboaz.com.
All right, ladies, let's support Stephan because he just gave us all the tips for us to get our life together. All right, everyone, we hope you enjoyed this interview. Like I said, this one was for my ladies, and I hope it benefits you in some way. We'll see you again next time.